Okie dokie, let's start with our daily learning objective for ELA. So today I will be able to identify and write the letter J. That's our new letter today. The letter J. So I'm going to write this line so you can see that our J, our lowercase j, is one of the ones that hangs underneath that bottom line. Okay, see how I went down? I wanted you guys to see that. So read it with me. Today I will be able to identify and write the letter J. Capital J and lowercase j. Capital J, lowercase j. So I have assessed some of you guys to see, just a few of you guys, how many letters, capital letters and lowercase letters you know. So some of us have not learned the ones that we've done. So I'm going to go over it again, okay? Just the ones that we've already done. But when I ask you, I'm going to ask you which ones you know from the entire alphabet, okay? All right, so, this is the letter C. The letter C makes the sound k, k, k. The letter N. The letter N makes the sound mm. This is the letter P. The letter P makes the sound p, p, p. The letter I. The letter I makes the sound I. The letter A. The letter A makes the sound ah, like an alligator. Ah. The letter K that we learned yesterday and the day before makes a sound k, k, k. This is the letter T. The letter T makes the sound t, t, t. The letter S. The letter S makes a sound s. And the letter E. The letter E makes a sound eh, eh. Okay. So I wanted to go over those because you should use these to help you practice the letters. The more you practice, the easier it's going to be. You will be able to look at them and say C, N, P, I, A, K, T, S, E. Okay, you'll be able to go through them just like that, but it takes practice. I didn't get there without any help, okay? So the letter that we're learning today is the letter J. So J is with our friend Jerry Jellyfish. His name starts with the J. Jerry, and he's a jellyfish. Okay, so he has a capital J because it's his name. His full name is Jerry Jellyfish. And how he makes a sound, see his little things hanging down here? He makes a sound, so we're going to make those little legs that he has, our little dangly things. So we're going to go j. Okay, so do it with me. J makes the sound j. Good. So we have our friend the Jaguar, which his letter is not capitalized. He's going to help us with the rules of how to write the J, okay? Our steps, more like it. So when I'm doing that, and I forgot to mention, see how I did not do the J in red? It's not one of the vowels. It's one of the consonants in the alphabet. So I'm going to do my J, capital J and lowercase j, in my black marker. Okay, black. So if I look at here, actually, let's trace it with our finger first. You guys take your little cards out, and I will use this, okay? So I want you to pause me if you need to. Go get your card. And then you can come back to me. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our best pointer finger. And we're going to follow our steps and trace it on this one, okay? So this one says I start at the top line. And then, hopefully everybody's following along, we're going to start at the very top, come down, and then we're to do like a little hook going away. Okay, so let's start at the top again. Come down and go that way. Like a tail that's dangling that way, okay? Towards the left. And then it says to make a line on the top. So we're just going to go back up to the top and just do a line across. And that's a capital J. Now we're going to trace our lowercase a. Remember, I told you it's going to go below this bottom line. It's called a hanging one, I believe. So it's going to hang underneath, okay? It's one of the ones that is allowed to. So it says to start at our midline. This is our midline. Make sure you guys are tracing. We're going to go to our midline. Trace down and then go past the bottom line and make it hang like a tail this way, okay? Then we're going to go back to the top and just give it a dot. Just a little dot, not a big old lollipop, okay? So that is our capital J, lowercase j. And J makes a sound, J, J, J. Okay, so now that we've traced it, I'm going to show you how I write it so you guys can see it, okay? So according to my steps right here, it says I start at the very top right here. I think you guys can see it. And then we're going to come down and it's going to be like a tail that curves. Okay, you guys see that? But then it says step 2 is I'm going to go across the top. Just like that. That's a capital J. Say capital J. Now we're going to do the lowercase j. I'm going to give a little bit of space in between them so I can tell one letter from the next. Okay? So it told me to go to my midline. So I started my midline right there. And then I'm going to come down. And remember, we are allowed to come underneath this lower, the bottom line. And then we're going to curve it like a little tail. See how I did that? And then it says I have to do a little dot. Now, I want you guys just to go just like that, even if it's like a little bit. Do you guys see that? Oh, let me make sure you guys can see it. There. Just a little dot, okay? So, it's important that you guys do a little dot. Because see how theirs doesn't take up the whole thing? What some of us might do and we get excited, it's like, I can do a dot. I want to make sure you can see it. You'll do this part really good. You'll say, okay, she said don't go past the midline. We can come down and do a little tail, just like the jaguar. But then you'll go and do a dot, and you'll go like this. That looks like a lollipop to me. Very big lollipop with a hook underneath it. So let's try not to do that, okay? My marker's going. So let's try not to do a big lollipop. Then when you want to do it, just make sure you go like this. Start at the midline. Come underneath, stop, you are allowed to, and then just do a little dot, okay? Don't do a big lollipop that takes up the whole top part of that line right there, okay? So that's our lowercase j. Now, sometimes when we do our capital J, we'll say, okay, I can do this, so you'll go like this, start right here, come down, and then you go like that, and then you go like this. Well, did I start from top to bottom? I did. Did I do like a little tail? I did, but that tail went way up high. It almost touches the top, huh? So if you notice when we do it, it does not touch the midline. It stays away from that midline and just does a little like a hook, like this. That way. Okay? So make sure you don't go all the way up here, especially up here, okay? You just do a little bit of a little curve, like a little tail going up. This is way too high, all right? So don't do that one. That's too high. And then make sure, again, I've told you this multiple times, make sure you leave space between one letter to the next, all right? So sometimes you guys will want to go this, and then like this, and then like this. Do you guys, can you tell one J, capital J, from my lowercase j? I can't. They're way too close together. I have no idea if that's a capital J what that is or that or that. So you have to make sure you finger space between each letter. I'm telling you this many times. It's important. So one more time when we write it over here, I'm going to write it again in a different color so you guys can see it, is make sure you take your time. Start at the top, come down and give it a little tail. Don't go all the way to that midline. Then come back to the top, go across, capital J, a little bit of space, start at the midline, go past that one, you're allowed to, and then do a little hook. Again, they're both facing the same direction, and then we do a little dot right above there, okay? Capital J, lowercase j, makes a j sound. I'm going to do it one more time. Space between them. Come down. Oh, look, Miss Mosley got too close to the midline and didn't quite come down. So I'm going to erase it and try again, and that's okay. So I go here. Oh my goodness. My hand slipped. And give it a little tail. And then come back up to the top and give it a line. Capital J. Yeah, I can go underneath this, remember? We're allowed to. And then give it a dot. Capital J, lowercase j. Capital J, lowercase j. I can see this is a capital, and I can see this is a lowercase. This is one letter. This is another letter. Here's the third one, and here's the fourth one. They are separated, so I can tell one from the other, even though they're the same letter in capital and lowercase form. You guys take this one out, which you should already have because you're tracing with me, right? So, capital J, lowercase j. Okay, you can color your little picture. Remember to try to stay within the lines. You can color him or Jerry this color if you like. This one, the jellyfish, I'll let you color whichever color you want. And then after you guys do that, make sure you take out these, your skill practice binder. It is the worksheets that are for erasing. And you're going to look for your J. Here's your J. Okay, make sure you take out your dry erase marker and write your name right here. Then you're going to trace. I'm just going to pretend so you guys can see it. You're going to trace with your marker opened. I didn't open it. So you're going to trace it down, do the little hook, and then come back to the top and give it a top. Then try it on your own right here. Make sure you follow the steps that they're telling you right here. After you do that, trace the capital J. Okay, you guys have been doing really good with this. We're looking at them. Then do the lowercase j, give it a dot. Do it on your own, do it on your own. Make sure you finger space, so you should only have the trace and two more on here. Then trace it, trace it, trace it, trace it, trace it, and trace it. Every time you trace it, say J, 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 J. This will help you remember what the letter is and what sound it makes, okay? You guys can do this. I can't wait to see them. Have a good day.